All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Sunday watch list. This week we have so much opportunity ahead of us. The charts are looking amazing, especially after consolidating for such a long period of time. It is an earnings week, though, so that is the only thing. But it's a good thing too, because after earnings there are post-earning setups that can present themselves. So regardless of what's going on this week, there's going to be opportunity, there's going to be setups, and it's going to be some of the bigger companies reporting, like Microsoft on Wednesday, as you guys could see here. Monday, we have Domino's Pizza before open, Waste Management after. Big ones is SoFi on Tuesday before, UPS, JetBlue, PayPal, that's a big one. Spotify. Snapchat, Starbucks, Visa. Those are some big ones on Tuesday. So a big day ahead of us Tuesday. Wednesday, Microsoft and Meta. Those are going to be big market movers. So regardless of whatever the market may be doing right now, these names are going to have a big impact on what the market is going to do next. As far as right now, when we dive into the charts, the setups look amazing, right? Um, what else? We have Amazon and Apple. This is going to be another big day. So contracts may be a little bit more expensive this week because there is a large expected move. So do not be surprised by that. Um, yeah, that's just something. It's implied volatility, right? Implied volatility rises when there is a large expected move. Earnings causes implied volatility to rise, which causes contracts to rise. Okay, let's get right into the charts. Just a little recap of what's going on this week as far as earnings. And as far as news goes, let's see here. We do have GDP on Wednesday, initial jobless claims Thursday, and non-farm pay the first Friday of every month, which is already a new month in May. We have non-farm payrolls. So it's a big week coming up as far as economic data as well. But if we just dive straight into the charts, these charts look amazing. Right, what happened? We basically bounced off of 2022 all-time highs. 2021, 2022 all-time highs. That is exactly where the market is recovering from after this 20+% sell-off on SPY. And zoom in here. Now, if I'm on the weekly chart right now, this is a bullish engulfing here on the weekly chart. The higher the time frame, the stronger something is, the longer it may take to play out. But this is a very bullish pattern here, and I would not be surprised if we are at 565 by the end of the week or even before, right? But let's calculate how would we have a good risk reward ratio? How do we trade this? How can we capitalize on this move? So that was the weekly chart. Let's go to like a daily chart next. As you can see on the daily chart, we also had inside bars. This is major. This candle from Wednesday was from 494 all the way to 548. Huge candle. That was the day that Trump announced that he was going to pause tariffs. And ever since that candle happened, every day after that has just been consolidating in a range inside of that larger candle. Let's take off all the indicators so it's a little bit cleaner. And let's take, okay, so the top of this is 548 and the bottom of that is 493. Like notice how all these candles are inside of this larger one. This is what you call inside bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days in a row inside of that candle. We finally got the break up. We finally got the break above, and we had a gap fill up to 554. So we still have room up to that 554. It would be amazing if we get a retest of like that 548 and capitalize on that. But above that, like I said, this has nothing but room. This has nothing but room up to this 558 level and that 565 level, right? So 565 is going to be a big level because of back here. As you guys can see, there was a big resistance and there was a big support back here. So do not sleep on this 565 level. If we get above that, we're going to fly into 570s and 575, 580s very, very quickly. Those are the next levels to the upside. 570, 575. Okay. Now, just in case things do get weak, but look at the difference right here, right now. This is a very clean trend from here to here. Compared to what we have been getting for the past few days, it's been very sideways and consolidating. But we are forming an uptrend now. This is what you would call an uptrend as we are forming higher lows and higher highs. Okay, now that that's out of the way, that is pretty much the game plan for SPY. If things get weak, I would keep an eye on it below 544. Just in case things get weak, that is that is last week's high, and that's also Friday's low. So if we take out that level, I do see us going to 540 and 534. Don't see that happening, but it's always a possibility. So we stay open-minded to those levels playing out because we could capitalize on whatever way this goes, right? As of right now, though, we're heading towards 558. Definitely excited. These are the conditions after a long, and if I'm talking too fast, I'm sorry. After a long consolidation phase, we get a large move. We've been consolidating for 10 days inside of these inside bars, so I'm expecting a large move very soon, especially with that weekly bullish engulfing. Like I said, I'm not surprised if we hit 565 this week. There's opportunity on the table. Don't miss out this week. Of course, always have good risk management, but there's opportunity this week. Now going into QQ, very, very similar chart. Weekly bullish engulfing, right? This candle fully engulfs last week. We have broken a key level of supply, which was also that candle from Wednesday, April 9th, after Trump announced he was pausing tariffs, right? Um, we have broken that high on Friday, and we got a much larger move on the Qs. So I would not be surprised if Qs heads towards 480 very quickly. That is our next level. 480. So let's watch for a bounce somewhere on this 468 area, even the 470. Um, this 473 was big as well. So let's look for a higher low somewhere around this area, depending on pre-market, for that next move towards the upside. That is going to be what I'm looking for, 480. Okay, now going into some individual names. Apple still has room to fill this gap at 220. It just does have earnings this week though, so contracts may be a bit more expensive. But the opportunity is there as well. I would not want to trade it the day before or the day of earnings because unless you're gonna swing and you just know it's a high risk, you don't know what the company is gonna report. So that's why I personally do not trade earnings. Meta has a lot of opportunity as well. We have this bullish Dragonfly Doji. It's like a bullish hammer in a way. If you guys don't know, that's what this candlestick is called. And we are headed towards the top of this trend line on an uptrend. If this upper trend line breaks here for Meta, it has nothing but room to 575, and we're currently at 550. About a $25 move. That's major. For downside, watch it below 537. Um, just to be open-minded. Looks really good though as well. Microsoft has earnings as well, but you can see we have a huge resistance here at 395 to 396.4. If Microsoft takes that high out, that is a level of resistance that we have been failing to get above since March and April, right? For 2 months, we have been failing to get above that high. If we finally get a break above that high, Microsoft's going to squeeze to 400 and probably even 405. So keeping those on watch. This is a large double bottom on the daily chart. And yeah, very, very good setup here on Microsoft as well. I'm gonna go, these aren't even my favorite setups for the week. We're about to get into that. Um, Amazon, I don't really like as much as some of the other ones, but it's about like 194. Let's see on the weekly. It says room to 200s if it gets above like this 192 area. But not my favorite setup. Nvidia is going to be on top watch. Nvidia is going to be on top watch. One of the strongest names on Friday, and we are breaking out of this trend line. This has nothing but room to 115. And Nvidia does not report earnings this week. Nvidia always reports a little bit later than the other ones. So this is going to be on May 28th. So it's a lot later. So this one may do its own thing this week, compared to some of the other names. The other big names are reporting, but this one is not. So keep an eye as long as it holds 110, 109. I could easily see this at 115 this week. One of my favorite setups. This makes the top of the list for sure. Google, not too interested in right now. Um, I see better opportunity than Google. AMD, along with Nvidia, is approaching a key level. This was a big resistance here, this 98. That was that high from the tariffs being paused here, 98, 98 here, and we are approaching it. Psychological key level is 100, but if we get above 98, it's gonna squeeze to 100. Right? That's a $2 move, like that can happen very quickly. And there's a little gap fill right there too, up to like 101. Above that though, it's 103. So I would not be surprised AMD's at 103. Very strong name on the board right now as well. Top watch as well. This one reports May 6th. A little bit before Nvidia, but the setup's there for sure. PayPal looks great as well. PayPal equity. PayPal equity is something I would be looking for, like names that are definitely oversold and are still pretty low. PayPal for equity. Tesla though, this is going to be top watch as well. I caught about 200% on this on Friday. Just an amazing set. I'll do a quick recap on it. That way this video is not too long because I know it's already, yeah, it's getting long, guys. But why did I trade Tesla on Friday? It was off of this 260, yeah, 260, 259 area. As you guys can see, this was a big resistance all from, yeah, back here, April 14th, here. And then we broke above it on Thursday. And then Friday's pre-market, we started to hold at 260. So I took longs off of that area, and really the next resistance was like 275. So this was a name that just had so much room to go. We broke that pre-market high, which is 265, and this name just took off. 200% on those contracts, insane. I had like 2K. I had 10 contracts, but I made 2.4K, but had I held them through the end of the day, shoulda, coulda, woulda, whatever, it would have been like a 20K. These contracts ended up going to like $2,000 each, and they costed only like 200 bucks. Insane. Um, but anyways, regardless of all of that, the setup on this chart just looks amazing. This looks like this beats Nvidia. My Tesla's on top, so it's Tesla, Nvidia, AMD. As far as my top watch, it's SPY QQ, of course, always SPY QQ. But these names right now, Tesla, 300 psychological level. That's gonna be the contract that's probably gonna be getting picked up the most this week if we break March's high. March's high is here in the 290s. And that is exactly where we are approaching. So it may get there before pre-market. We shall see where we open up at. Bounces would be around 277 to 275. But the main level of interest for me is going to be this 291. If we break and hold above that, it's a rejection level. We are approaching it with strength. So therefore, I would be leaning towards us breaking this 291. And this has nothing but room to 300. So this is going to be my favorite setup for the week. It's flagging right now. As you guys can see, this is a bull flag. And yeah, guys, I don't want to make this video too long. Just letting you guys know that the opportunities are there. Stay open-minded as things can change very quickly. If Meta and Microsoft are bad on earnings, the market will pull back. But we have Apple and Amazon as well. That's going to be a big impact on what's going to happen this week. Don't want to make this too long. Like I said, these are my top watches, and I hope you guys have an amazing trading week. Peace.